Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Saturday, January 20th, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, bringing in that new era of professional wrestling, Jeremy Pearson. You know you can check me out on the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215. And we got coffee, we got Patreon and Wix site. It's almost here. It should be up and ready by the end of the month. I was a little under the weather Thursday, so there was no Reddit content. So we're going to do double Reddit content next week. And as for today's show, we're going to do the wrestlers to look out for. My wrestlers that I'm looking out for in 2024. But for now, you know what's next. So just go on and hit my music. All right, now with today's episode being the wrestlers to look out for, we got 5 wrestlers for our episode list who need a lift, a pick-me-up. These people have kind of disappeared one way or another. They just are too talented to not be featured on TV. So starting with number 5, Dexter Lumis. I understand that it might be a little hard to book for Dexter Lumis. He has a unique look, but there's one easy way to get him screen time. Just pair him up with his kayfabe wife, Indy Hartwell. Reform the way. The faction is there. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae, Dexter Lumis. There is your faction, and the WWE needs more factions. Dexter Lumis, when he first came back, looked pretty good. It was used very, very well, and they just stopped using him. He's not hurt. Just book him. It works. Trust me, it can work. Number 4, Scorpio Sky. Now this one is tough because for some reason Scorpio Sky keeps getting injured. He's injury prone. He came back in the middle of last year and then got hurt again. I don't know what's going on. I've seen him like one time on Ring of Honor to help his buddy Ethan Page. Scorpio Sky is too talented to not be just used. This guy, when he was healthy, was must-see TV. And I need him to be healthy and in the right mind so he can recover and be used. Number 3, Ethan Page. Scorpio Sky's tag team partner, Men of the Year. Ethan Page is also another guy that is too talented to not be used on TV. I understand that Dynamite's Rampage Collision can be crowded, but right now he's being used in Ring of Honor. Use him in Ring of Honor like TV champion, world champion, whatever. You can build your Ring of Honor roster around a couple guys and really have that roster shine, have that show shine. Ethan Page can be one of those guys. Number 2, Shayna Baszler. The fact that Shayna Baszler has not been women's champion of the main roster yet is astounding. She was dominant in NXT. She was one of the greatest NXT champions ever. Unbeatable, unbreakable, unshakable. And then she gets to the main roster and she's a vampire, or she's been in tag teams. She's been in so many tag teams on the main roster. And right now, she is still in a tag team. Shayna Baszler's too good to not be women's champion. And she, with the right booking, with her old NXT booking, can be a very, very believable, incredible challenger to Rhea Ripley. And it's really absurd for her not to be pushed that way. And number 1, the Unholy Union, Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. This one annoys me so much because I like both of these women a lot. And yes, they just had a tag team match, a tag team title match on SmackDown. But what did they do to deserve the match? The last time we saw them before this past Friday was like the Christmas episode of SmackDown, and before that I think it was like Halloween. They're rarely featured on TV, and yet they're one of the best women's tag teams in the company, and they just don't get used. They have a unique look, a unique moveset. Hell, Alba Fire, formerly Kaylee Ray, is and was the longest reigning. She was the longest reigning United Kingdom NXT United Kingdom Women's Champion. What is going on? Push these women. Use them. Use them. Use them. It's not hard, and that's why we're gonna end it there, because I'm about to go into a total rant. Use Isla Dawn. Use Alba Firemore. That's the episode list, and we'll be right back with our superstar spotlight. All right, everybody. Today's spotlight shines brightly on one Jack Perry. Now, if you didn't see last weekend, he made his debut for New Japan at their Battle in the Valley events, and he attacked, I forget who he attacked, but he essentially ripped up his TNA. There was a lot of wrestling on last weekend. He ripped up his AEW contract, and he will be working with New Japan going forward. Now, obviously, he's still under contract to AEW. This is all part of a storyline, but this will work for him in the long run. I can see AEW using kind of New Japan as like a background feeder system. Hey, we can't get you featured here. Go do a stint in New Japan. Jack Perry, go over here, build your character, work on your in-ring skills that you're already good at, but you can get better and go work with some of the best in the world and then come back to AEW ready and recharge. This is going to work. The heel thing that he was doing recently, it was fine. It wasn't great. I feel like he's better suited for the Jungle Boy persona. You could just call him Jack Perry, but I feel like he's better as a babyface, and I'm essentially waiting for him and Luchasaurus to reform. But let him do the heel work in Japan. Let him get the skills. Let him grow some more, because when he comes back to AEW, he's going to be $1 million. Jack Perry, the spotlight is currently on you. What will you do with it? We'll be right back. All right, this month has kind of been the preview month for the year, and what we have today is simple. These are the wrestlers that I am looking forward to, or I'm expecting something more. I'm looking forward to them getting a push. They're going to be on your radar this year, and we're going to break it down from tag teams, factions, women, men. Keep it nice and simple. So without further ado, these are the wrestlers to look out for. We're going to start with tag teams, and the first tag team on the horizon is Private Party. Mark Quinn has returned from injury, and recently they teamed up, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, to take on and defeat Top Flight in a pretty good match. Get the ring rust off of Mark Quinn. Private Party, they are, for all intents and purposes, AEW originals. Remember them in the inaugural tag team tournament defeating the Young Bucks? They've beaten a lot of top teams and have never really gotten like a fair shake. They're really good at what they do. They've tried the heel roll and it doesn't work because fans want to cheer for them. Putting with the Hardys, making the Hardy Party worked. And it looks like we have something on the horizon between the teams of Private Party and the Hardy Boys. It's time for them to win gold. They're one of the few AEW original teams that haven't won gold yet. They've not won gold when they were together. The Proud and Powerful haven't won gold. The Best Friends haven't won gold. And we've got to change that. And I think there's a chance that Private Party will win gold this year. Another tag team to look out for is the current WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter. They are the best women's tag team in all of the WWE. They have been teaming together for years now. They have tag team moves. They have combination moves. Even though they're smaller than a lot of the other women, their skills together work. When they team up, I wholeheartedly expect them to win most of their matches because they are a team. Now, they are defending the championships again this week against another team on this list, but I'm leaning to this with the idea that Katana Chance and Kaden Carter will be the focus of the women's tag team division in the WWE for the year, because they can go with anybody, whether it's the smaller wrestlers or the bigger wrestlers, the faster wrestlers or the slower wrestlers. They just work really, really well together. And Katana and Kaden can really anchor this women's tag team division. When was the last time we had a true dominant women's tag team? I was really hoping it was going to be Ronda and Shayna, but it wasn't. It's time to get a historical reign for the women's tag team division, and I think Katana and Kaden can do that. Another tag team to be on the lookout for are former women's tag team champions. That is the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Now, they are facing Katana and Kaden next week for the tag team titles. Will they win? Maybe. Will they be champions this year? Yes. Between the combination of the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi, then you have the Sky Pirates, Io and Kairi. They're just going to be good. And I want this mainstream WWE audience to really understand and recognize just how good of a wrestler Kairi Sane is. Time and again, I've told people she's one of the best women's wrestlers on the planet. Period. Asuka has done everything in the WWE. Grand Slam champion, Royal Rumble winner, Elimination Chamber winner, Money in the Bank winner, all of it. It's time for her to really, really get her shine. And we got to make that happen. Over in TNA, the grizzled young veterans, formerly of the WWE and NXT, I don't know what else to say about the grizzled young veterans. They were really mistreated in the WWE, and I expect them sooner rather than later to become tag team champions in TNA. As much as I like ABC and as good as ABC are, their reign is coming to an end. Grizzly Young Veterans were, in my opinion, the marquee signing over Nick Nemeth that TNA signed. And we're going to get some truly, truly incredible tag team wrestling from James Drake and Zach Gibson. They're just that good. And they got the time to shine at NXT the first go around in black and gold, not in the colorful brand. And lastly, the Street Profits. It's been a minute since the Street Profits were on top. Really, really has. It's been a minute since the Street Profits were on top. But teamed up with Bobby Lashley, they were trying to do this heel thing, and it wasn't working. But now as faces, I think it's going to happen. We're going to get back to making them, one of the top teams in the WWE. And don't be surprised if they win gold this year. Don't be surprised if the tag team titles get split up. Honestly, there's enough tag teams on Raw and SmackDown where we don't need one set of champions anymore. But the Street Profits are going to be back on their way up, and just hopefully we get one of those legendary matches. Remember that legendary match they had against the Usos? Remember that? And did we fail to follow up with that? Yeah, we need that. Moving over to the factions, a faction that I am very skeptical of, as they just formed, is the Final Testament. Karrion Kross, Scarlett, the Authors of Pain, and the manager of the Authors of Pain. Just really drawing a blank right now. Sorry. But I'm skeptical because one, Karrion Kross is just a failure and a loser. He just is, ladies and gentlemen. He starts feuds and loses. He tells people TikTok and loses. He is a loser. AOP never really got their time to shine. So hopefully, maybe this time is different. Maybe this time they will get a chance to shine. The manager is Paul Ellering. So the Final Testament reformed, and they're going after another faction, and that would be the Pride, the team of Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Now, I'm fine with this feud. I kind of know what to expect from Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. It's the Final Testament that I'm concerned about because this is new, and they have to win the feud, right? They kind of have to win the feud. And the Pride are new, but they're missing something, and that's where I think B-Fab is going to come in and join the Pride. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Ashante the Adonis joined the Pride. That would work. That would work. This is a make or break feud, honestly, for both of these factions. I need just a blood war between these two. If you give me that, if you give us that and just say, yo, go out there and just beat the holy hell out of each other, no matter who lose, we all win. And everyone will come out looking good. Then we have Bullet Club Gold. It's really weird to say a faction that was featured heavily last year, something to look out for, but with Jay White losing in the Continental Classic and Drew Strabo being injured, they had to take a step back. Now, Jay White and the Guns recently just won the Ring of Honor Trios Championships, and I think we're going to unify the Ring of Honor and AEW Trios Championships, which they should, because Ring of Honor doesn't need a Trios Championship. But I'm ready for the comedy. I'm ready for the amazing matches. I am ready for this team to get their just due. We know Jay White. Come on, man. Sold out Madison Square Garden. One of the biggest stars in New Japan. And the Guns get it. They get it. And they've just been putting in tremendous work. And then once Juice Robinson come back, I expect Bullet Club Gold to shoot for the moon and not miss. They're just going to be that much fun to watch. And this current friendship with the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass going after the Undisputed Kingdom. It's going to work. It's going to be something to keep us watching, to keep us interested. Then we have OTM, Out the Mud. First of all, what does out the mud mean? It means getting out of that muck, getting out of that grind, and being better. It means putting the work in. Out the mud feels right. I have my eye on them. So the team of Out the Mud featuring Scripps, Bronco Nima, and Lucian Price, up and comers, right? And they've got a look to them. They've got this kind of coolness to them. And I think they're adding Jada Parker to the group. And if that happens, I'm like, yeah, okay, Out the Mud. Give me that. Because we need more factions, and we need more factions with the women. And this can work. They've got a nice little collaboration. They can vibe off of each other, put in the work, grow up together, get in the ring together. They're going to be something special, something to look out for. In fact, lastly, the System, TNA. Moose, your current TNA World Champion, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and Alicia Edwards. The System. They're about to run TNA, and they're going to be taking challenges from every side. Right now, their main goal is to protect Moose and make sure he stays champion. They came together recently, got some W's. They're going to keep getting W's, but we don't have a lot of factions in TNA. This can be that dominant faction right now. I like this group because they all have a goal and they know what their mission statement is. Moving on to the women's side of things, Serena Deeb, the Professor, the Women of 1001 Holds, just coming back. We've been running these vignettes on AEW of her talking about her story. Remember, if you didn't know, she was having some seizures and just couldn't wrestle. But now she's coming back. She hasn't made her return yet into the ring, but she is ready to just hurt people. Really, if we can push her like the way NXT had pushed Shayna Baszler, Serena Deeb is going to be really, really something special. The Professor is so good at what she does, and with Deonna Purrazzo now in AEW, this is one of the honestly dream matches and marquee matches that I'm hoping they pull off. Tony Khan, just give me 20 minutes of Serena Deeb and Deonna Purrazzo exchanging holds and just putting on a technical clinic. I want it. I want it so bad. I want it so bad. But I can't wait for Serena Deeb to get back into the ring. Next up, we have Ash by Elegance in TNA. The former Dana Brooke signed with TNA, and she's going by Ash by Elegance. I don't know. I don't get it. I am interested. It's like she's a perfume or something. Like, who is Elegance? I think she's Ash, but is she Elegance and is somebody else? Like, it's I can't wait. She has my attention, and people are calling her Toni Storm. I'm like, yo, she ain't got a promo. She hasn't had a match. And mind you, she wore this glitter gear before in the WWE. This was a gimmick she tried to get in the WWE many, many times, and they kept telling her no. No one has ever questioned Dana Brooke's work ethic. Nobody. She just never got a shot. Yeah, she was in the company for a good minute, but she truly, truly never got a shot. And TNA is the perfect company. TNA is the right company to give her a shot. It's going to work, and it's going to succeed. Ash by Elegance. Whatever happens, my eyes are on her. You're going to have to watch her because it's going to be unique. And wrestling always needs something and someone unique. How about Queen Aminata? Yes, she has signed with AEW. We didn't get the Queen Aminata's All Elite, but if you can pay attention with the matches she's been having and kind of how they've been longer, they've been going from squash matches to all the matches with her really, really getting some shots in. That tells me that they're high up on her. She's going to make her bones taking hard losses here and there on AEW. Kind of like Takeshita did in his first year before she moves over to... I think she's going to move over to Ring of Honor and be really, really, really good there. That's where she's really going to shine. And well, I'll put it to you like this. You move her over there with Anna and Billy and Diamante and Mercedes and all the other women they got there. Ring of Honor will end up having a really, really good women's division. that will be featured pretty well. The Renegade Twins, Kiera Hogan, Lady Frost, Layla Gray, Marina Shafir, Rachel Ellering, Trisha Dora, Renegade Twins, Taya Valkyrie. Ring of Honor has a really good women's division, which I'm really excited to see now. Queen Aminata is really going to help elevate that. She's going to get her shot. She's going to get her chance. And she's definitely going to be, I think she's definitely going to be slated right into that women's TV championship scene. And it's just going to work. It's just going to work. Another woman who's been in the company for a minute, who's in the AEW original, who I think is finally really putting it all together, is Anna Jay. Now, y'all know me. Y'all know I love Anna Jay. Oh my God, I love that one. But she's getting matches recently. She's getting better in the ring, and she's starting to put it together. And now, somehow, some way, she's fallen into a feud with Ruby Soho and Saraya, because Saraya doesn't want to lose her tag team partner, so she put the blame on Anna Jay. This is good. With Anna's tag team partner, Ty Mello, out right now, raising her newborn. Anna gets time to shine as a singles wrestler. She even got the win a week or two ago in the homecoming match, but then took a loss to Deonna Purrazzo. But that's okay. Losing to Deonna Purrazzo doesn't hurt. Anna Jay, the one thing she needs to work on is what does she does in the ring. Like, she has the kicks. She can be aggressive with the strikes, but her finisher is a submission. But she's not really a technical wrestler. She needs to tweak something, and I think once she puts that together, watch out for her. And lastly, another new TNA signing, Zaya Brookside, the daughter of Robbie Brookside. She's a former NXT UK women's wrestler, and she was never really going to work well in WWE. They just have too many people. But guess who's perfect to work for? TNA. I thought she could have signed with New Japan as well. Zaya Brookside's only 25, I believe. And she is a wrestler. She has wrestling in her blood. It's going to be good. It's going to be good over there for her in TNA. And TNA is the forbidden door, so she can always go back and work for Stardom, do some stints in Stardom. But she's going to shine in TNA. She's one of their marquee signings. She was in the Women's Ultimate X match at Hard to Kill. So I'm expecting it to start out slowly for her, but eventually to pick up steam and kind of grow and get there, because her and Danny Luna are the two new signings that I think are going to really work out for them. And on to the men's side of things. Got a guy that just fought for the AEW World Championship, and that is Hook. Follow up. It is very simple. Do not waste what you just did with Hook. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. He's got a look. He's got something in the ring that works, and fans like him. Fans gravitate to him. Tony Khan has a thing where he kind of wastes momentum and doesn't know when to pull the trigger. Hook was never going to beat Samoa Joe. He just had to look good against Samoa Joe, and he did look good against Samoa Joe. So follow that up. Start putting him in actual feuds. I mean, I can think of his truly first real feud was probably with Jack Perry. And we saw how that worked out. It was fine. But now you went against the world champion. What are you going to do next? Another guy that AEW is going to push a kind of a legend in this business. This is Jay Lethal. Whatever is going on with him and Jeff Jarrett, I'm kind of here for it. Actually, I'm kind of excited to see what's going to go down. Jay Lethal has done it all and is a name in this business that we all know. So Jay, ladies and gentlemen, will be doing something fantastic this year. What it'll be, I don't know. But the Continental Classic did something to him. The Continental Classic brought out this edge in him. He lost a lot of matches. He had to be better. And he's going to be better. We're going to get the serious side of Jay, and he's going to be built back up. He's going to get those wins. I expect him to go over Jeff Jarrett. I expect their feud to be kind of crazy, if I can be so blunt. Jay Lethal's the kind of strong hand that you want in a wrestling company. So I want to see where things fall with Jay Lethal. Maybe a stint back in Ring of Honor would work. Like a good little feud between him and Eddie Kingston for the Continental Crown. That would be some good stuff. How about Jinder Mahal, former WWE champion, just had a World Heavyweight Championship match on Raw. Don't hinder the Jinder. Build him back up. He is a former WWE champion. You can't take that away from him. This man, at one point, was the top star in the company. He held the top prize. You cannot hinder the Jinder. He has Indus by his side. He has a good look. He knows what he's doing on the mic. His in-ring storytelling might not be the greatest, but you love to hate him, and he's not wrong. When heels tell the truth, that's when they're at their best. Jinder Mahal, who remembers Jinder Mahal winning a fatal four-way match at WrestleMania to win the United States Championship? Who remembers that? He's got accolades, and yet he's just falling by the wayside. I think this year is going to be different. I think we're going to see the revitalization, the resurrection of Jinder Mahal. It has to happen. It feels right. It feels right that Jinder Mahal would get a push and go back to being somewhat where he used to be. I just want it to happen. I crave it. I yearn for it. Don't hinder the Jinder. A new AEW signing, and we've been seeing him featured on TV a lot recently, is Brian Keith, the bounty hunter. This guy's good. He's been really one of the best indie wrestlers in the business for a long time now. He's finally going to get time to shine. Can I get a faction of Hangman Page, Brian Keith, and Bandito? I just want it. I gotta just want it. But here's what I'm looking forward to with Brian Keith. Put him in Ring of Honor and make him one of your top guys in Ring of Honor. That would be beautiful. Brian Keith is really good and deserves a shot. And I think he's going to get that shot. Because Tony Khan doesn't just sign people to sign him. Well, that's not true. He does sign people to sign him. But a lot of his signings have meaning, and I think this one will have meaning. Brian Keith is ready. Like, I don't think he'll ever be a top star in AEW, but in Ring of Honor, yes. Yes. And I'm hoping that's what they do with him. And lastly, your new AEW Digital Media Champion, Crazy Steve. We did a Superstar Spotlight of Crazy Steve a couple months ago. He's the guy. He's the guy that I think will truly stand out this year in TNA. They've been telling the story and they've been telling it right. Doing the matches, been putting in the work. Crazy Steve he's a madman. And you need that. Honestly, I feel like we need somebody to replace the Abyss role. We got PCO, but PCO's doing his own thing. Crazy Steve is now the Digital Media Champion, and I expect him to have a nice long reign. Or at the very least, kind of have like a Golem-like attachment to the Digital Media Championship. He finally has some Tommy Dreamer, and I think you can really build that belt around him, having him do whatever it takes to retain. Crazy Steve is a guy that ultimately works mainly in the WWE, mainly in TNA. Not WWE, but TNA. And I'm ready for it. But ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. Those are the people, the wrestlers that I am looking forward to seeing do big things this year. Next week we've got our list of things to leave behind from 2023. We got Flashback Friday coming up. We got our Royal Rumble preview show next Saturday. And we got wrestling Reddit content. I'm gonna get that to you all. Don't forget to check out the socials. Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube. Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram. The 215 on Twitter. We got coffee. We got Patreon. We got the Wix site. A whole bunch of stuff coming. Got some movie and TV reviews coming up. So don't forget to check out the Facebook page, Instagram as well. I'm putting some stuff out there. And as always, Isla Dawn, Gigi Dolan, Anna J, Bailey, Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander. Holla at your boy. Peace.